everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the show, I am your host, Rashid White. My boy, my co-host is in the house, Beric Burrell.
What's going on, guys?
All right, as everybody can actually see with the title on screen there, Tom Thibodeau can actually be on the hot seat if the Knicks actually miss this season. And we're going to hear a report from Ian Begley. Let's see what he actually has to say about this whole thing.
Next year, if they miss the playoffs this year and they got off to a slow start next year, that's when the seat would heat up. Because he won Coach of the Year last year. He delivered a playoff team to New York last year, his first season. So it would be, I think, a little short-sighted for the Knicks to let him go after this season if they do miss the playoffs, especially based on his body work. But stranger things have happened in pro sports, and particularly with this club. And it's funny, you look at that Coach of the Year award. There have been some coaches to win Coach of the Year and then get let go. Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose, the team president, are very close. And I don't think Leon Rose would come into a situation here with the Knicks where he was going to be forced to fire his handpicked head coach.
All right, bad news for a lot of the Knicks fans out there. I know there's a lot of people that actually hates Tibbs and the way he's not playing the young players. But all right, so Burke, let me ask you, what is going on with the Knicks? Is it Leon Rose? Is it the fact that the players are actually banged up, or Tibbs and coaching? I mean, what's going on over here? I mean, they made the playoffs last year, as you heard, and what's going on this year, man?
Well, they're 25-33. They're in 12th place, and they're going to have to vie for the 10th seed. Realistically, that's just to get into the play-in tournament. But like I said, it's a lot of blame to go around. The Fournier, Kemba Walker, experiment, quite frankly, hasn't worked out. Although Fournier has had decent games here and there. Leon Rose basically put a lot of money in the pocket of Julius Randle, which was questionable. But ultimately, at the end of the day, whatever happened last year was pretty much fool's gold. And this year, obviously, this team has regressed, and changes are going to have to be made. Thibodeau is going to have to find a way. There's really no one out there. You and I have talked about this privately. There's no one out there that can really save the Knicks in regards to free agency.
Now, what about the buyout market that's coming?
Well, I mean, you do have a buyout market, but you really have to start focusing more on what you have on your team. You're going to have to give some of these younger players an opportunity to play along with some of the veterans and see how that works out, because quite frankly, that's not something Tibbs is doing. He's playing Grimes here and there. You need to make sure these guys are playing regularly, and go from there.
Basically, like build their confidence. And
well, it's just trying to build towards the future. As Ian Begley mentioned in his piece, you have to start worrying about whether or not Leon Rose made these decisions because he don't think it was going to be a possibility. It might not work in a year or two. He did this because he felt Tibbs was the best. Let's face it, we really haven't had a competent coach around here for 20 years. Tibbs is a good basketball mind, great basketball mind. He's just going to have to release the hounds and start playing those younger players more with the veterans, and then let's see how this thing works itself out. But right now, you got to say blame does go around from everybody. Everyone's got to accept the blame for where the Knicks are. They're 25-33. Things got to change.
All right. I mean, it's possible. I still think the Knicks are actually playing hard for them and for Tibbs, and that's one of the things that you actually look at is the players are actually responding to the coach, and I guess they still are. I mean, it's just you got young players that he's playing, and I mean, a lot of those guys will play hard, but just learn actually how to close games out when you're up. I mean, like you can't let Giddey. How do you let Giddey? What the hell's a Giddey? He's a good basketball player, Beric. But he dropped a triple-double. So things like that. I mean, like not letting the game go into overtime. And that could be a coaching error. I mean, that stuff like that, like Giddey, you actually have to prep for. And you got to look at Giddey's strengths and weaknesses if they're going to actually run, their offense through Giddey. I'll say, okay, well, what can we actually take away from him? Or maybe the Knicks just have low IQ basketball players, which I don't.
Why would you say they got low IQ basketball players?
No, I'm just throwing things out there. What could be de facto. I don't think they do. But from a coach's standpoint, you have to look at, hey, who's their best player and how can we take away his strengths? And I just think I didn't see any resistance from from the Knicks or anything like that trying to stop this dude. Foul.
Well, listen, right now it's not even about Mr. Giddy. It's about you're 25 and 33. You're in 12th place. That's what it's about. And you have to find ways. Yeah, okay, fine. If you want to focus on why they lost their Thunder, fine. They lost their Thunder. It was not a great win. It was a very embarrassing loss. That is the bottom line. However, this is where we are. This is the facts. The Knicks have got to find ways. With the 27 games remaining in the regular season, they got to find ways to win 85% of those games, at least realistically. And to do that, you're going to have to start giving players on your bench, the younger players along with the veterans, try to find where the nucleus mix and try to get this going. Because right now, no one's really going to come out from the outside looking in unless you can get some kind of a buyout somewhere.
The player I'm eyeing is Zoran Dragic.
That's about Well, you could probably get him, but I don't know how much of an upgrade he's going to be. You keep adding players, and you still haven't found continuity with the players you have now. So we're going to have to get that straight now.
Somebody that can actually take the ball out of Julius Randle's hands and get somebody that's really a good playmaker on there. Someone that actually has experience and shoot.
You're grooming R.J. Barrett to be your star player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's worked on his right hand. His jump shots have been falling around. His defense is good. I mean, this is what you drafted him third for in the draft 2 years ago. You're trying to figure out how to get him to be the star of this team. Julius Randle was a surprise last year. The Knicks were a surprise. And ultimately, because of that, we felt like this was going to continue. It did not. We regressed. So yes, again, for just to put a bow on this, yeah, we have regressed, and there's blame to go around, but I don't really see a major solution. You're going to have to dig deep and look within your own roster, and to see what works, and maybe we can put some wins together. We'll see what happens.
All right, we'll wrap this video up. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Certainly share this video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.
All right, peace.